The best $20 you'll ever spend. Hello and welcome back to the table, and today I'm back with another One Piece gameplay deck tech video. Today, talking about Dawn Krieg, the latest in the line of uber woober budget decks in One Piece, with this deck clocking in at a whole 16 bucks. Very cheap, very inexpensive. The cheapest deck in the game? I have no idea. And it's brand spanking new. And it's better than a lot of people give it credit for. Now, can it beat the likes of Enel and, I don't know, Lucy and Bell Luffy? No, not at all. Unless you draw very lucky and they draw awful. But this deck can still do some pretty solid work. If you want a good, solid budget deck that can compete, even into those top meta decks to a certain extent. Are you going to win a lot of those games? Probably not. But will you compete, at least to a certain point? Yeah, I can say pretty confidently that you can. So, what does Krieg do? Well, he is a 5k 4-life red-green leader that, as long as there is a Dawn under him and on your opponent's turn, if you only have East-Blue type characters, give all of your opponent's characters minus 2k power. So your leader, in a way, is kind of a 7k, which is insane. But when it comes to leader swings, no. But the thing that is nice is that it makes your opponent's characters, makes it a way more difficult for them to swing into your board, into your life, into a lot of things, which is very nice. Because this deck generally struggles with card size or hand size, and it's kind of nice you don't have to, get rid of a ton of cards from your hand because you don't really have a lot of defense. But with this first leader effect, you get a decent amount of defense. And on top of that, you can be pretty offensive with this leader ability, or, control-y. As an activate main once a turn, you can rest one of your opponent's characters with 2 or more given Dawn cards. Which seems weird because it's like, well, what are you supposed to do there? You have a lot of cards in this deck that say, let's give a Dawn, rest a Dawn to one of our opponent's characters, and give another Dawn to a leader or character. Could be yours, or it could be your opponent's. So with one of these characters, you could just give 2 Dawn to something and then rest it. Could be a blocker, could be something you just want to get rid of. It could do a lot of work. And all things considered, considering that pretty much everything from this set, outside of one card, is from this set, this deck does some pretty solid work. So, getting into the list, starting things off, this deck wants to go second. So let's just go up the curve. We got Django, and we got the Outcome, which basically, both of these are just 1-cost searchers. The Outcome being a 1-cost top 5 searcher event for any East Blue card that isn't this card, and it triggers a draw card. Wish it just said, excuse me. Wish it just triggered to do the main effect, because that would be way better, but whatever. Can't complain too much to a certain extent, because I don't know why, but they just did not give a lot to this deck. And Django is the new typical 1-cost 2k, 1k counter top 3 searcher for any East Blue card, including itself. And also gets another little bonus. Being an activate main, you can trash this character and give one of your opponent's rested Dawn cards to one of their characters. So you can just give another Dawn to one of your opponent's things in a niche case scenario when you need that. I'll talk about when that can be useful in a second. But, continuing up the curve, we then got a turn 2. We have Arlon and Pearl, so not a lot to do on the second turn. Now, granted, there is technically more in something like the Mihawk, but this card kind of sucks. It can be useful nichely, but it's not great. But the main thing is Arlon, sometimes Pearl, just if you need to have something to play on turn 2. But Arlon here is the best card to play on turn 2, because it's a 4-cost 5k 1k counter that, like a lot of the cards in this deck, can, on your turn, activate main, give a rest to 20 of your opponent's characters, then give a Dawn to one of their leaders, or give a Dawn to a leader or character. So that's really good. It is effectively a 6k in a way, sort of a 7k sometimes. It's interesting. It's a very solid card. And on KO, up to 2 of your opponent's rested cards will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. You might all know this card and recognize this card from my Zoro video. And that card's pretty busted in Zoro. And this deck utilizes it sort of better. Zoro kind of uses it better than this deck, which is funny. But to a certain extent, this deck does use it the best because you get the most value out of all of the card. But Zoro can just play it more aggressively. But I don't know. Arlon, just a very, very good card. Because it's the main thing you want to play on the second turn. And it can give some Dawn to your leader. Like all of these other cards can give Dawn to your leader. So that you're kind of a 7k, sort of, on your opponent's turn. But then you got Pearl, which is basically a 4-cost 6k blocker on your opponent's turn that on KO blows up a 6k or less. It's niche. It's solid to a certain extent, but it's nothing insane, which is why it's only a 2 of. It's just some niche good defense that if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. But then you got Gin, probably the second best card in the deck. I would say there could be some arguments for other cards being the second best in the deck, like Luna, or, it's in order, probably isn't. Luna could be argued to be the second best card in the deck, or maybe even Arlon. But, Gin does a lot, because it's a 6-cost 7k 1k counter that on play plays a 5 or less, if your leader has the East Blue type. So basically, it's a 6-cost 7k that plays a 5-cost, that being Morgan or Alvida. Kind of like with the 4 costs, you basically have Arlon, Pearl if you need it, and you have Morgan to play off of Gin, Alvida if you need it. With Morgan being a 5-cost 6k 1k counter blocker that does the whole activate main to give arrested to a character, and arrested to a leader or character. So it's just a really good card. It does a lot of work, and it can just, be a decent blocker. Something that's offensive, something that can allow you to do a lot of stuff with your leader effect. And it's just an all-around. It does a lot for the deck for the fact that it's a common. And it's even better than Alvida, which is a rare for the deck, designed for the deck, which I think is kind of funny. But Alvida here is the same card, basically, but instead of it having blocker, if it would be KO'd, you can trash your character with 6k power less from your hand instead. The fact that this is a blocker just generally works out a lot more than the Alvida, being harder to remove via combat or KO effects. And you already are kind of limited on hand size anyway, so this card generally hurts you more than it helps you, to a certain extent. The card's fine, but it's nothing insane. But then, lastly, we have the 8 Dawn turn, which technically you have Kuro, which is a 7-cost 7k blocker that counters for 1, which is a really horrible stat line. But hey, you can give 2 of your opponent's Dawn cards to one of their characters, and at the end of the turn, if one of your opponents has arrested characters has 3 or more Dawn given to it, it's frozen on their next turn. Yeah, it's fine. It kind of sucks. But it does do some solid work in a lot of scenarios. Like, it can do some good work. It is a blocker. It does counter for 1 worst case scenario. It's a solid card to have, and I think it is good to have as a 4-of because you don't have a lot of teeth at the end of the game, and just having a big-ish body that also can be nice on defense, it's just nice to have. But the main thing you want to play is Krieg, which is very good with this Django, as I mentioned earlier. But Krieg here is a 9k that on play gives 3 of your opponent's Rested Dawn cards to one of their characters. Then it gets Rush. This character gets Rush. So it's an 8-cost 9k Rush that gives 3 Dawn to something. Okay, solid, I guess. I mean, you only need 2 to be able to rest it with Krieg, but sure. But wait, there's more, because that's an activate main once turn. If this character is played on this turn, give all of your opponent's characters minus 1k power for each Dawn card given to that character during this turn. So basically, your opponent has 7k, and you give 3 of it to Krieg via Krieg, this Krieg, and you give another one of it with Morgan, and another one with Arlon, and you also put 2 Rested Dawn on your Krieg leader. Well, now you got a 7k Krieg leader. This is a Rush, and that 7k body is now a 2k body. So, very, very small body that even Django can swing into. Which is not why this card's good alongside Krieg. The main reason it is because it can give a Rested Dawn to one of your opponent's characters. So you can just, I don't know, pop the Django give one more Dawn for free, and then bada bing, bada boom, Krieg just makes that thing a little less powerful, a little less, or a little easier to kill, which is awesome. Very, very solid and very, very cool. So yeah, this is the best card in the deck. You want as many of these as possible, and if you don't get any, you're probably gonna lose. Now there are games where you can get none of these and still win. As you'll see in the game, there is one of those games, but for the most part, you want as many of these as you can, and more than likely, if you go a game without seeing any, you're not going to win very often. But, alternatively, or outside of that, we have some defense. 2K counters and Kobe, a way to help defend a little bit. Meow Bond Brothers, which can just, give some Dawn, and it doesn't really do a lot. It's just a solid 2K counter that's searchable, basically. We also got Mihawk, which can in niche situations rest a character with giving Dawn on it. It's also, a 2K counter in and of itself, which is really nice. Then lastly, we have It's an Order, which kind of falls into two categories. The freezing side of the deck and the defense. This being a 1-cost 4K counter for your Krieg cards, either your 9K or your leader. But it can also, as a main, give up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 8 or less and 2 or more given Dawn on it, the ability to not be restood in the opponent's next refresh phase. It freezes something for the simple cost of 1 whole Dawn, which is really dumb and really powerful. Now, it's not the most insane thing in the world, which is why it's a 3 of, but it does do some very solid work. And also, there's Luna, which I have as 3 of in the deck. You could argue for it being a 4 of. It probably should be a 4 of, like you cut one of the It's an Order for one more Luna. I personally think a 3-3 split works fine. But Luna, very good card, because, yeah, it's not searchable. It's the only card in the deck that is not searchable, and only card that's not from OP15. But Luna can trigger to rest a character, or alternatively, mainly why this card's good, it can, for 3 Dawn, as a main effect, say all your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 7 or less will not become active in the opponent's next refresh phase. So you're going against a deck that goes wide. They have a 6K, a 5 cost, or a 6, 5, 5, and 4 costs on board. They have 4 bodies on board. Okay, well, you play the Luna. Okay, 6 cost, 5 cost, 5 cost, 4 cost. Okay, none of these can become active next turn. So all of these characters swung. Now the opponent can't get any value out of them on their next turn. And then on the following turn, if you want to, you can swing into some of these bodies. Or not. Doesn't really matter. You just slow down the opponent by so much against aggressive decks specifically, and it just does a ton of work. This card can, by itself, allow you to win games. And it's just very solid. Very, very good. But that is the list. It is a very fun list. I don't think that this deck is like the most broken thing ever by any means, but for the fact that it costs less than $20, less than most meals nowadays, and the fact that it can do some pretty solid work, especially if you're starting out and you're trying to just find a good deck to start with, this deck's a pretty good place to start, in my personal opinion. It's not like insanely complicated. It can be to a point, but once you get into the groove of things, it's not very hard. And let's dive right into some games and see why I think this deck is so good, at least from a budget, casual perspective. Going up against Rebecca, they're going first. I like this hand. I like this hand. I'm gonna keep this hand. Yes, I would like a good card to play off again, but we're probably going to be able to find that, hopefully. Okay, Sanji. That's interesting. Take a look. Nothing, so we're going to get Django. Even though I love the Krieg, it's not necessarily the greatest card for this matchup. So I'm just going to do that. And then Django. Come on, opponent! No! I'll get Pearl, just in case, because it is a good card against them. I'm not going to lie. It is a good card against them. But it's not what I prefer. It's not what I prefer. This is a pretty solid matchup, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a master of Rebecca. I don't know exactly what Rebecca does. Kaya? Yep, I obviously do not know what Kaya does, or Rebecca does, because I don't remember Kaya being in the deck. So there's a Leo in their hand, somewhere. This is, what is, they're not swinging with it, okay. I'm like, they're not swinging with the Sanji, are they? I was gonna be very concerned if they swung with that Sanji. Now, granted, they made a giant mistake here, because I can, deal with that Sanji now. Because I'll give arrested, and give arrested, and then I'll be able to rest the Sanji, and I'll be able to send 6 into the Sanji. So now you just lost a blocker, which, yeah. Why did you give him that Dawn, opponent? That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder... I mean, this is still Kyros into infinity here. They're probably going to bounce back to Kaya, using Rebecca, playing a 3 cost. Even though any... God, I hate Cavendish so much. I hate that card so much. It's not even funny. I hate that card. It gives me flashbacks. Okay. So let's play Geen. Could have played the Mihawk, honestly, and rested the Cavendish, but it wouldn't have died. So let's just play Pearl, because that card's actually going to be really good. Next turn. So let's give arrested to Cavendish, and then give arrested to Krieg. Go 5 into life. Opponent probably takes it. Maybe. There's an argument for them to not take, potentially, but they probably will. And they took it. I don't know why. Okay, yep, they took that one too. Cool. Down to 3 life already. Pretty happy with that, because next turn we can Krieg. Or Kuro, if Kuro happens to be the better play. This card kind of sucks, though, to be fair. I mean, it's like, decent, but it's nothing insane. I'm going to be honest. It's nothing really that good. Shocky? When a character leaves play from one of your opponent's effects, if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, they place 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck in any order. Okay. This thing... How did this thing get Rush? What is going on? Oh, then rest this character. Okay, that's how that's happening. Sure. That's fine. I will get rid of Kuro. That's fine. 5 or more cards is kind of annoying, actually. But thankfully, I'll probably, at least, be able to get rid of that Shocky. This now has Unblockable, which is very annoying. Very frustrating. They play a Rebecca blocker. Cool. Hate that. Hate that. 5 and a 5. I don't think the opponent knows how this card works, but I do kind of want to keep it around, so I will counter. Not that I want to, but I will. Okay, 8 cards. This is probably where I use Django. Right? Yeah. This is where I probably use the Django. I'll give 3 rested to Shocky? Yeah. Yeah. Give 3 rested to Shocky. So let's play this guy. Give 3 rested to Shaki. Use Django. Give a rested to Sanji. Use Arlon. Give a rested to Sanji. Give a rested to my guy Krieg. Rest the Sanji. Use the Krieg. Minus all the guys by a bunch. Send 9 into 5. Send 7 into 3. And then send 5 into 2. And no. And then send 6 into life. Don't forget that. Okay, they counter. Sure, and I pass. So this is going well. I'm at 4 life. Now granted, I need things to do, so I'm definitely going to take the next swing that comes at me. They have 7 cards in hand, which kind of scary. But at this point, they're probably not going to swing in my life. Ever. They're just going to try to kill my board. Which is not great, because I kind of need some cards, but this Django is actually a really good card that I got last turn, that I drew last turn. And Shaka and Pell is actually going to be a very good card for them. Because, well, is it? Is there semi-incentivized to swing a life? They have 8 cards in hand, which is kind of scary. But it's fine. Right? Yeah, sure. Okay, so they gave Arrested to the Rebecca, which is, or Active to the Rebecca. Could give another one with the Arlon, and then rest it. Haha, take that, opponent. Let's play this. Look at the top 5. Ooh. Kuro. Get the Kuro. This is where that card's good. Yeah. That card's actually very good right here. Let's play that Kuro. Attach Restodon. Attach Restodon. Use Kuro? I missequenced. I should have played Django first. Gosh dang it. Give a Rested to Chocopel. Give a Rested to Leader. Go 5 in life. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Forgot to play the Django. Alright, let's go. Let's just go 7 in life. Go 7 in life. And go 9 in life. They took the first swing, which kind of surprises me. So I might go 8 after this, and then 9. Yeah, get 2Ks out of their hand. Go 8 in life. Or force them to block with that Rebecca. Yep, awesome. Then go 9 in life. Then rest that guy. And then that guy will not become active. Shaka and Bell can't do nothing. 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 Base is 6, care less with Pearl. Yep, an opponent concedes. They can't do anything else after that. Complete control in that game. What's the opponent supposed to do? What are they supposed to do against us? They can't do nothing. So let's dive into another game and see what Krieg can do. Going up against Brook, who likely is going to go first. I would assume is going to go first. Yep, okay, they're going to go first. I like it. I'm gonna try it. I would like something to play off a game, but outside of that, this hand is perfect. Because I have a turn 2, into turn 3, into turn 4. Okay, just trashing a ton. Playing spoils is kind of odd, but okay. We have an option to play off of the game now. That is good. that is good. I don't really want to play either of these, so let's just put 2 Dawn on Krieg, because that's going to do so much. And say go to the opponent. Whatever. So they have 4 life. And what, I don't know why I needed to point that out. They're running Robin, which is kind of interesting. Trying that out as some potential spicy tech. Nightmare Luffy, Nami are both in the bin. Usopp has the terrifying tech against a lot of decks. Some new goodies. Megalo. Morgans. Okay, these aren't as common. What else? 5 and life. Sure. Ooh, Alvida is not bad at all. I kind of prefer that over Arlon to a point. Yeah. Morgans, cool. Draw 2, trash 2. Gonna get a little cycling going on. What are they gonna trash? That I am curious about. Robin and Nami. Or, what? Chopper and Nami. That's interesting. Okay, sure. Play that. Give an active and a rested and go 6. They have 4 cards in hand. That is, nice. They don't have a lot to work with as far as the hand size goes. Because they haven't played any choppers yet. They haven't really gotten a lot of their, I don't know. Kind of like, it's going so far. Morgans, I don't know why it would block here. I don't know why the opponent wouldn't take here. You don't want to go too low with this deck, especially too early. If you go too low, sure. You should have definitely waited to play that, but sure. I'm going to defend this very hard. And I don't imagine you getting to go into it unless you decide to go and put a lot of down on Brook and then swing into it and not play a Pirate Dock in 6, which, fine trade-off to a point, in my opinion. So, you can do that, opponent, if you want. Huh. That is a play. Usa? Huh. They're just hard casting it and not playing. Okay. Cool. I can play this. Or counter with one of the 2Ks and not lose value, because I don't really want to counter with these 1Ks just yet. Okay, maybe I want to counter with one of these Arlons. Holy crap. Let's play Dean, though. And then play an Alvida. Use this, give arrested, and arrested, and then use Alvida. Give arrested, and give arrested. We'll use that to... Oh yeah, it can't be rested by linear effects. Shoot. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just go 7 in life. Probably should have rested the Morgans. But either way, they had a blocker, and that's fine. That's fine. 7 in the face, though. Probably gonna demand a block. From either of these, I think it's fine. If it's from the Usopp, that's cool. Probably gonna rest the Gene. I would assume they're gonna rest the Gene. Well, no, they could rest the Arlon. Okay, they are gonna rest Gene. And pass the turn. They got 7 Dons, so they're probably gonna play Nightmare Luffy. And they'll not be able to swing into the Gene, so they can't really get much value out of... No, they're gonna play Megalo. Sure. No Nightmare Luffy. I'm happy with that. Next turn I can just play 2 Arlons and then get a lot of value. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Opponent will go 5 in life. I will give him a 2K. A little suboptimal, but it's fine. Do I play 2 Arlons? Is that a good idea? Probably not. Now that I think about it, probably not a great idea. So I'll probably, if they send 5, I'll probably give them a 1. I might be willing to take it. They trash DMG and... What'd they trash? DMG And I can't tell what the other card was. Pirate Docking. Okay, cool. 5 in a life. That I will counter. Don't want to go too low just yet. Next turn, I am fine taking a hit. Preferably not 2, but yeah. So let's play an Arlon. Use Arlon to give Arrested, and then Arrested. Use Alvida to give Arrested, and give Arrested. And use Arlon to give a Arrested, and then give a Rested. Bunch of Rested going on here. Rest of Morgans. Go, because why not? 6 into Morgans. Get that out of here right now. And then let's go 7. Yeah. Let's go 7 in a life. And then we'll go 9 in a life. Cool. Got both the blockers out of the way. 9 in a life. And then leave a Dawn up to scare them with a potential 4K counter. So they'll go really big instead of wider. I don't know. Then we're less likely to take multiple hits and just the one like we want. So they have 10 cards left in deck. Next turn we'll play the Krieg. Pretty much guaranteed. And then we'll have 2 Dawn to work around with for whatever we need. I don't see a world where they don't play the Nightmare Luffy this turn. And if they do play the Nightmare Luffy this turn, then it's fine. If they don't, then they... Okay, Secret Luffy, kind of preferable to a point, honestly. Now, this is the one concerning thing here. They might... yes. That's what I was about to say. Luna. They could Luna. That's not the worst, but it is annoying. Because that's going to make our aggression way worse next turn. So that's great. But whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We are going to be able to get a Secret Luffy dead next turn. They have the other one in the bin. The deck typically runs 2. Is the opponent going to swing with the Megalo? Opponent does not know how Krieg works. Just gonna point that out. Opponent does not know how Krieg works. Give you 2 2s, because I should not have done that. I could have frozen 2 of your Dawn. I could have frozen your leader in 1 of your Dawn. Why did I not do that? Oh, well, I kind of want to keep the board around to be fair, but still, that's so frustrating. Dang. Alright, let's just rest that. Use Alvida, give Arrested, and Arrested. Use Arlon, give Arrested, give Arrested, use Arlon, give Arrested. Hell yeah. Shoot. Alright, minus whatever. So that's a 2K, and that's whatever K. So let's just go 5 into the 2K, because why not? And then we'll go 9 and 9. And then we'll go 9 and 9. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really need to hold up the 4K counter, because it's just for leader, and they're probably not going to swing into my life this turn. They're probably more likely to go for board, which isn't great. But unless they counter with 3 cards from their hand here, they're going to 0 life, and then we're pretty much guaranteed to be able to kill them next turn. Alright, sweet. So they have another Luna. Yes, it sucks. They play a blocker. Also sucks. But, yeah. I mean, we are very much so going to win this game unless the opponent has some kind of a miracle. Or something along the lines of that. Nami into probably Secret. Probably have to go for game here. Since I have no Dawn up to defend or anything. No, get a Nightmare Luffy. Opponent should have done that a while ago. Unfortunately, I don't know if they just weren't able to. They probably could have. I don't know. It's just like... The turn that they played this Megalo, I felt pretty good from then on. Because it's just like... Yeah. So how are they going to play their... Or what are they going to swing into with this Luffy? It's into the Krieg. Okay. 2... So it could be 10 into Krieg. Okay, and that... I meant to counter. I meant to counter that for 2. Misplay. But it doesn't really matter. Because the opponent can't... whatever it's called here. The opponent can't Luna. So... Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Why did they do that with spoils now? That's confusing. Okay. I don't see a world where this doesn't connect. But whatever. Well. Yeah, let's just go 16 into 7. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, we got math. Because they used 2Ks, 1K, 1K, and then, yep, 2K. Alright, they lose. They can't win. GG's. Alright, and let's get into another game to see what Krieg can do. Going up against Yellow Enel. That is interesting. I have no idea what this matchup is going to look like. I don't know if I'm favored or not. They are going first. This hand is awful. This hand is better. Just got way better. So we got 2 4K events. We got a Searcher, which is nice. Let's grab... Let's grab this Searcher to see if we can find... Gosh dang it. Nope. Uh-oh. Let's just get another Morgan. I was really hoping that we could get an 8 cost, but we dug a lot deeper so that we're a lot closer in theory to getting to that 8 cost. Okay, cool. I'm fine taking that hit. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Alright, well, can't give arrested, but that's fine. Probably should have swung that a little different. I should have swung first, but it doesn't really matter because the opponent took anyways. But still. Slight misplay on my part. So they have 5 Dawn. They might play Nami? No, they're not going to. I will counter. Okay, gonna play Perona. Arlong cannot attack. I don't know if I don't think Luna's very good against this deck unless this is like a Titan True Thriller Bark package version of the deck, which is disgusting. But whatever. So let's just play a Geen. Yeah. Play a Geen. Playing a Morgan. And then give a Rested. And then a Rested. And then use Morgan to give a Rested and to give a Rested. So this on KO up to one of your opponent's characters until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, well, let's just rest this and kill it? Doesn't really matter because it's going to be a 3K. So yeah, no, let's just go 7 into life. That's fine. Let's just rush the opponent down. The opponent, I mean, they can't really swing with this very effectively because it's only a 5K body. I mean, unless they want to put 2 Dawn on it, which just gives me so much value. So that's awesome. If this is a Thriller Bark version of the deck, it might be... Okay, 7 in a life. That I will take. Jesus. Another 4K counter event. All of them, by the way. Borsalino. That is a little annoying. Just a little bit, not gonna lie. So we're gonna have to get rid of this Django here. Give Arrested to the Borso. And then we're gonna play another Geen. Playing out a Morgan. And then what? Let's use Morgan. Give Arrested and give a Rested. Give one of your opponents rested on one of your opponent's characters. Okay. Let's arrest Borsalino. And then use Arlon to give a Rested. And then a Rested. And then use this guy to give a Rested and then a Rested. And then let's go 8 into 6. Okay. And then go 7 into life. Okay, cool. And they play Kiku. Annoying. And I don't really care about holding these up. Yes, I do. Do I? I mean... let's go 6 in life. Get a 2K out of their hand. Okay. Then a Morgan? Question mark? Why not? Well, no. Yes. Yes. 6 in life. Okay, opponent takes. Cool. So you got a 4K counter event, in case that is needed. Probably, depending on what the opponent plays this turn, is needed. Need a Krieg, though. Have not seen a Krieg. Would really like a Krieg. Geen is doing some work, though, in this game. Being able to play Geen into Morgan twice in a row. That's pretty nice. Arlon has been doing some decent work, too. And if the opponent kills this guy, I won't be sad. I will not be sad about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they got 9 Dawn. What could they have with 9 Dawn? They have 9 cards in hand, which is not a small number. What are you going? 6 in a life? If you do, I will block and counter for 1. Which is slightly bad value, sort of, but it's fine. With 8 Dawn, they could have a kid. That could be a line here. Them having a kid. Now, they could put Dawn on these. They only need to put 1 Dawn on Kiku and 2 Dawn on Perona. They don't have anything else in the yard. You know, well, I guess the on-KO doesn't do anything with the Thriller Bark package. It's probably nice, though, if we keep this on the board, maybe? I don't know. The fact that they have 9 cards in hand, though, really does suck. This Luna also, being a brick in hand, also kind of sucks. We have a really wide board next turn. And if we can, you know, keep this board, maybe should have taken that. Honestly, probably should have taken that. But they could have had Kid. And I do, but if they had the Kid, though, I don't know. They do have Kid. And it was a Krieg on top. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Okay, well, let's try... Oh, boy. You may add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, and if you have 2 or less life cards, this character gets Rush. up to one of your opponent's rusted characters with the cost of 8 or more. 8 or less. With 2 or more Dawn cards will become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. I'm going to keep this around as something that I can use to freeze this kid. So for now, let's just go 7 into life. Let's do that a couple of times. Let's go 7 into life a couple of times. See what happens. Okay. I like this. Let's go 7 more into life. Get 2 more cards out of their hand. Why don't we? Cool. The fact that they've gotten rid of 2 of those already makes me very, very happy. Let's go 7 into life one more time. Okay, the opponent takes. Sweet. Are they gonna Enel? They kind of have to Enel. They kind of have to Enel here. Not gonna lie. Okay, they got rid of a Borsalino, meaning that all of these cards have counter. Likely. Let's use Arlon. And then get an arrested. Play one of these. Freeze that character. Then use Morgan to give another Dawn to, I don't know, Corona. And give a Dawn to Krieg. So we aren't wasting too much Dawn or anything. 7. Let's just go 7 into life again. They probably... Okay, they do counter. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Go 9. They have to take. And that is incredibly annoying. That is super annoying, actually. Let's use this Krieg, give an arrested, and choose 0 targets. Frustrating. Very, 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 very frustrating. Let's play Luna then, I guess. Freeze those. And pass. So they only have 2 things they can swing with. Oh my god, they got so lucky with that trigger. It is not even funny. And I was kind of stupid there. Should have swung with Arlon. And then Morgan. And then Leader. Because I know that they can trigger this card out. That is my bad. I am very smart, everybody. Very, very, very smart. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think there is a world where they can kill me this turn, though. Because I could freeze everything with the Luna. Luna kind of saved my butt there. Not gonna lie. Kind of crazy that Luna pulled through in the end. Now, granted, it kind of makes sense. But it's funny how that worked out. Yeah. Okay, 7 into life. 8. So they could have another kid. To be safe, I can't think of anything. So I'm just gonna counter. They'll probably play another kid. Nope, they're not gonna do that. Okay. And this would be what, 7 into 6? I can counter. Opponent, what the heck? Borso. That's not annoying at all. That's not annoying at all. Okay, they got rid of a 2K, meaning that both of these are 2K, so just assume that. Let's use Arlon. And then arrested. Use that. Rest the Borso. the opponent concedes, because now there's absolutely no way that they can live through this turn as well. Thank God. Alright, well, that was a lot closer than I thought it would be there near the end. I was getting a little bit worried. But that Luna helped a lot. And this, it's in order, do not defy me, was also very helpful. And the fact that, you know, Arlon can just allow me to very easily rest Borsalino. Krieg can allow me to very easily rest a Borsalino. Very awesome. Very, very, very close game. And a very fun deck. Considering the fact that it's $16, pretty sweet. Is it the most fun deck in the world? No, I still think that's Brook. Stay tuned for a video of that coming soon, by the way. But with all that aside, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free, you won't regret it. Check out my other OP15 videos, linked right here. Check out my OP15 pack opening series or other Decktech videos linked right here. And I will see you all there.